Money is often believed to be the root of all evil, as well as we should avoid debt as much as we can. But some commonly held beliefs about debt, financial management, and other personal finance topics aren't as firm as we've been made to believe. It could be that these so-called truisms were, in fact, a work of fiction all along. The financial stakes are far too high to accept these false notions as fact. That is why in this video, we will unfold 5 secret ways that rich people make money with debt. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you will be updated whenever we upload new videos. With that said, let's get back to the content, shall we? Number 1. Most of the trade is based on debt. Loaning money to start a business seems to be a terrible idea, which is why it may sound controversial. And while I would never do such a thing, there are some businesses, particularly traditional businesses, where borrowing is the best option. Assume you want to sell pens. They are a very common product with consistent demand. You should fly to China if possible. Find a factory that makes that type of pen in a high-quality manner and at a reasonable price. You would buy a container of pens, ship them to the United States, and distribute them to your clients. However, most of this is now done online via websites such as Alibaba, unless it's a more complicated product that requires you to fly to that factory. But here's the catch. You don't have to pay for the products to use them. Let me demonstrate. China has become the world's factory in the last 50 years, producing everything. Thousands of factories operate around the clock to produce everything the world requires. To make it easier to sell, most of these factories will gladly loan you their products in exchange for a future payment. Of course, they will not lend to strangers, so you must first establish trust with them. But that is how business has been conducted for the past 5 decades. When the client sells the product in the United States or elsewhere in the world, he pays the factory and borrows more products. You're essentially telling the factory, you know how to make it, so let me assist you in selling it. If I can sell it for more than this price, that will be my profit. What makes this strategy so effective is that you are not investing your own money in this transaction. That is why selling is one of the most vital skills you can ever learn. Number 2. Refinancing. Because it is riddled with loopholes, real estate debt is the wisest kind of debt. You are paying extra taxes if you do not have a mortgage. Rich people always have multiple mortgages to take advantage of all of the deductions. Let me explain more practically. This is essentially how wealthy people become wealthy in real estate. Assume you've secured $200,000. That's a great deal of money. But let's be honest, it's nothing. You can't even afford to buy a house. Sure, you can't get a mortgage for more than $800,000 because you need a 20% down payment. But here's the trick. Assume you come across a property worth $500,000. Because it is in poor condition and requires some, if not a lot, of innovation, you go to a bank and obtain a mortgage with a 20% down payment. Let's assume you're planning to spend about 10% of the total cost of the house on renovations. So you go back to your bank, however this time to refinance your mortgage. When you got your first mortgage, the property was only worth $500,000 because it was in such poor shape that no one wanted to live there. However, now that you've renovated it, there are people interested in renting it out. So let us say the market value of that property is $700,000. Like in the first, let's say you're going to get an 80% mortgage. But 80% out of $700,000 is $560,000. And $400,000 of that money will go to the first bank that gave you the first mortgage. Deduct another $50,000 for renovation costs and you'll be left with an additional profit of $110,000. You borrowed $100,000 to make $100,000, and now you have a property that you can rent out to build equity and start generating passive income. Furthermore, because you have a mortgage, you will avoid paying taxes. Real estate investors frequently engage in this practice. Can you still see now that debt is that terrible? I'll leave it to you to respond in the comment section below. Number 3. Hedge funds. Hedge funds are created by the wealthy for the wealthy to make the wealthy even wealthier, and they typically employ unpopular approaches. They try to make money when companies fail or go bankrupt. Take for instance, you expect a certain stock, such as Facebook, to fall because you know that Apple, the maker of the most popular smartphone, will announce next week that they will no longer let apps track you, such as Facebook or Instagram, track your online activity and prioritize privacy, which will severely harm Facebook's business model. So, you pick up the phone and call your broker to borrow a single Facebook stock for, say, $100, and immediately sell it in the open market for $100. Congratulations! You now have $100 in your pocket, but still owe your broker one Facebook stock. Assuming you are correct, Facebook's stock price falls to $70 next week. You use that $100 to buy one Facebook stock for $70 because the price has dropped. Then return it to your broker and pocket the difference. Congrats! You've made $30 from a stock drop. In theory, it appears simple, but in practice, it is extremely difficult and risky. What happens if you're mistaken? What if the price doubles in an instant? You must still return that single Facebook stock to your broker and pay interest on the loan. You must now purchase the stock for $200 and return it to your broker. When you purchase a stock and attempt to sell it when it rises, the most you can lose is the amount you invested in. But this is not the case when there is a scarcity. If the price continues to rise, so will your losses. Ideally, you can incur unlimited losses because the stock price can rise indefinitely. However, if you have a battalion of analysts working for you, this strategy can make you a fortune. Number 4. Forex. In a nutshell, Forex is a currency trading market. It enables international trade. In China, you could use the US dollar. You must purchase Chinese yuan to pay your employees in China, for example. As a result, there is a market where anyone or any company can come in and buy foreign currency. These currencies fluctuate due to a variety of factors. For example, if the Fed raises interest rates, it can reduce the supply of the dollar in the market, making it stronger against all other currencies or vice versa. As such, if you can anticipate which currencies will rise or fall, you can make lots of money in this market. However, what distinguishes these markets from others is that for every dollar you use to trade in Forex, you can borrow an extra $100. That is, if you trade with $1,000, you could end up with a position worth $100,000. It will be enormous if you end up making a small profit, such as 1%. Number 5. Credit score. As we have just discussed, debt is an efficient instrument. Every successful business or entrepreneur employs debt in a variety of ways, particularly if you have a sustainable business model. Borrowing money to fund purchase orders is practiced by almost every business. So instead of thinking that all debt is bad, think about this. Debts with a high interest rate, such as credit card debts, are, of course, the worst. However, to obtain a lower interest rate, you must reduce the risk associated with loaning your money. How do you go about doing that? You establish a reputation as a dependable borrower. Banks have billions, if not trillions of dollars sitting in their vaults, waiting for someone to lend to them. Banks can even create money out of thin air if there isn't any. Thank you for watching. I hope you gained some usable wisdom from this video. If you did, go ahead and hit the notification button and then subscribe to this channel. That way, you'll be updated anytime we upload life-changing videos like this. Until next time, see ya!